Are going to go on a healing journey together. My name is Ty, aka Dr. Inner Glow, and I have turned survivor to thriver. I started this podcast 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I first started my healing journey. And as I reviewed a lot of my old content, I was seeing that I was holding back a lot. I did not want to hurt people in sharing my truth. But as I realized and I come to terms with my truth and my reality, I am making it my mission to share my story and to reach people and to heal people like I always knew that I would. The victims barely talk about and share their stories about. And that's what I want to do. I want to share my story and also derail it and dissect what it is and actually show you how to heal from this because it you have to go within, and it comes with going within and visiting some dark places and accepting that. Just don't hold back. We really share it all, no filter. And it is about truth. And with this narcissist, you need truth because all of this illusion, all of this mind game that was going on is very damaging, and you really have to fight with your mind, body, heart, and soul. You need healing and nurturing to all of that. And I didn't ask the questions that needed to be asked or understood red flags when they were in my face. That's why. So once you heal, you pick up on it and you don't allow it to go on longer than it should once you are able to understand. So he presented himself as me. He mirrored me. And that's what they do. They mirror you. He came in as strong, confident. He had a vehicle, he had his place, he had a job, and he was just this confident, handsome, thoughtful, caring person. He had the same goals as me, the same retirement goals as me, the same values and morals as me. Made it easy to love. I ended up getting pregnant and I decided to get induced. He showed up to all of the appointments. Meanwhile, we were still fighting and arguing, that on and off, on and off. He was no longer being that person that I had met in the beginning, like with the same morals. He started to change. He started to do whatever he wanted to do, disappear. He didn't have no more morals, no more respect. He was like cooking, making breakfast, cutting up fruit, and leaving me love notes and showing up to all the doctor's appointments. And they had made a plan for me to come back in the morning at 6 a.m. to be induced. He knew about it and he told me he wanted to go out and blow some steam off before tomorrow. So I'm like, okay. As I was giving birth, he showed up reeking of alcohol, apologizing. I was upset, but I was just grateful and happy that he was there. I was like, whatever, you're there, fine. We ended up taking the baby home. Love notes and all of that stuff just went out the window. It was none of that. He was just coming home drunk, leaving me by myself. Like, you need to help me with the baby. Like, you can't just be hanging out, being gone, and da 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 da. You said you were going to stop doing that, especially once I had the baby. Nothing's changed here. So we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, arguing and yelling, and next thing I know, he punches me in the face, in my eye, and passed out. Woke up into his arms, him rocking me and just screaming and crying and apologizing, saying, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this to you. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. And I'm saying sorry too. I just felt so guilty and felt bad that I maybe I was thinking like, damn, I made you do this to me. Maybe I should have just chilled out. I know this is what you do. I go and look in the mirror and I did not recognize myself. Like it was the biggest. So after looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, oh, hell no. So I got my stuff, my baby, and I left. So I ended up coming back. I was talking to him every day in the midst of me leaving. I was staying with my mom. I ended up going back. Ain't no way I'm just about to let him get this home. This is my house too. Like, hell no. So I ended up going back. We worked it out. The abuse was getting so bad mentally. He was using that my postpartum depression against me, saying that I just wanted to be lazy, and that just stripped my confidence and my self-worth even more. And so we were at Walmart. It was after a long night of being up all night, fighting and arguing and drinking, and he's yelling at me, screaming at me how I don't do things right at this Walmart. So I ended up leaving, and once I left, he started banging up against the window of the car, like, "Why'd you leave? You left your baby in here." And then he punched me in my eye. Ended up going to jail. Walmart Samaritan would not let him leave, blocked us in, and gets arrested. Next thing I know, his family is harassing me, causing issues at my house. A week later, I find out he was never paying his part in ownership of the home. So I had to be gone out of that home in like a few days. I'm still listening to him on the phone saying it was all a misunderstanding, blaming everybody. I didn't tell my family to do this, and I just can't, I'm so sorry. And this is not supposed to be like this. And I'm like, well, babe, you need to fix it. And that was my turning point. I ended up finding out I was pregnant on top of that. So that was my turning point. I'm like, I'm leaving the state. I'm thinking maybe it's the city that's causing all this hell in my life, but really it's him, and he's telling me that he's not. So I'm just dealing with this push and pull, this trauma bond. All this tornado of information and mind games leads to this trauma bond, this soul tie. I told him about my plan to leave to Arizona. We went together. We were doing this as a family. After I was homeless, it is a traumatic experience that you go through with your mind. And if you let it, it will destroy you. You have to go within, go deep within yourself and figure out what was it in my life that I have experienced that caused me to accept this behavior. So it was not only what I went through in my past, but it was also with me ignoring the red flags and wanting to go in this deviant direction with my life. I wanted to, this is for the person that wants to heal, deeply heal from within, going within and accepting all truth, raw truth, unedited, uncutted, all of that, just raw truth. Happiness that is coming from outside, exterior, materialistic things, all the fake, instead of what's true, what's within the heart and what's in the mind, is not for you. Because that was not for me. It was for me for a long time until I started seeing the truth. And when you see the truth, you cannot unsee the truth unless you be fake about it and you live in lies and you want to continue down that path. See, that's the same with the truth in someone. And that's what's going on with Diddy. I'm just gonna speak on that because that is an example of a covert narcissist. And so many people want to put blame on people that was around him. But what we really have to understand is these people create a character for each individual that they are with. So it can be very fact true that a lot of people did not know what was going on because he portrayed a certain character for this certain person or this group of people, but to her, him and her, they only know that person. And that's what we need to understand. So with that said, this is my first episode, my introductory episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some type of healing from it, because each and every single episode, we're going to try and go there. We're going to try and go within, and we're going to try and get to a place where we can just heal a little bit further, a little bit further. Just know that healing is not always easy, but keep showing up for yourself. This is your new bestie, Dr. Inner Glow.